If you are a fan of softball, you are going to love the Fastpitch TV show. From softballjunk.com, we're bringing you more softball than anyone on the planet. Sit back and get ready. Here's the Fastpitch TV show.
Hello, I'm Gary Leland, and this is the Fastpitch TV show. Make sure and take a look at all of my videos, my blogs, and softball information on my website at www.fastpitch.tv. The Fastpitch TV website brings you more free softball information than anywhere else on the planet. Now today, I am bringing you episode 7 in the history of softball. I'm working with Fastpitch softball legend, Dr. Dot Richardson, and Allison Strange of PFX Athletics to film a series of interviews between Dot Richardson and other softball legends. And you are really going to be amazed at some of the softball greats that are joining us on this series of shows. Now in this episode, Dot Richardson interviews two-time Olympic legend Michele Smith. This is another one of the great interviews in the series. Now let's go to the show right after this short message.
Oops, sorry. I was reading this month's issue of the Fastpitch magazine. What? You're not familiar with the Fastpitch magazine? Watch this. You are going to love it. Looks great, right? Want to find more about the #1 coaching tool on the internet? Go to fastpitchmagazine.com today.
This is amazing. Here we are with Michele Smith. Let me tell you, considered one of the greatest all-around players to ever play the game. Wait till you hear her story. Two-time Olympic gold medalist, not just a pitcher from the left side as a lefty, but can play first base, can hit. It's just amazing. We have got to tell your story, Michele. Just take us through the very beginning. I know some of it, and it's just inspiring.
Well, you know some of it because you were hitting off me and hitting good off me. Well, I grew up in New Jersey. I started playing softball at a very young age, but I didn't start to pitch until I was 15 years old. So in New Jersey, we didn't have youth teams. So I ended up having to play for a women's major fast pitch team called the Linden Majors. And
Majors, that's right.
Yes. Then the Budweiser Bells. And so that all started in the 80s. And so I played against the Ray Bestis Breakettes. I played against all the really good women's teams where the women, some of them were 10, 15 years older than me, and so as a 17-year-old pitching against them, it was intimidating, but it's sink or swim, and I think that's the thing that really helped me when I was younger. And so through the 80s, women's major fast pitch really was the core component. It was the show of softball in the United States. That first Olympic team that we played on together in 1996, all those women, we all came off of ASA women's major fast pitch teams that played against each other. And it's iron forges iron, right? It's biblical. It comes down to the point that we all made each other better. Then we came together to win that first Olympic gold medal. And that puts us into the 90s. Women's majors fast pitch continued through the 90s, which was a big part of it. But I remember playing against, when I was younger, the Barbara Naldas, the Kathy Aronsons, the Pat Duplessis, the Sheila Cornells, the Dot Richardsons, and looking up to you guys, and then getting to the point where I was good enough to be a teammate with you guys. It was awesome. That was a huge part of my youth growing up. And then the transition of women's major fast pitch into the national team. So much focus then went to the national team, 2000 Olympics. It's really been great to see the way the sport has grown. But my big thing is I just hope that the younger generations, today's fast pitch athlete, learns about the history of our sport. You know, the Bertha Tickies. You know, I was honored to be able to win this Bertha Ticky Award as the best pitcher in the country. I won it 4 times. And it's probably one of the things I cherish the most because this was a woman who played on the onset of softball, our history is about. Joan Joyce, another amazing woman who still coaches at the collegiate level, but meeting her for the first time, I was like a little kid, So I've been blessed. I played through the 80s, the 90s, and through 2000. I retired in 2008 from Japan. I played 16 years professionally in Japan, and a lot of people don't realize there's a very good, very strong professional league in Japan. We're building one, and have been building it here in the U.S. as well, but it's just been outstanding to see the way the sport has grown and is continuing to grow. But I hope that younger generation learns about the history of our sport.
Well, I love Michele. I mean, I remember the competition we had together. Yeah. When you came as a lefty for the Budweiser Bells, it was a whole new level. And like you said, just strengthening everybody as everyone is so competitive. But just think from New Jersey, not having the opportunity of youth travel ball, but being in women's fall, very similar to my history. And even from the Linden Majors, the Budweiser Bells, to the Reading Rebels, to be able to make those national teams, to be an Olympian, and then to nurture the sport by traveling to Japan to play professional. And how many years were you there?
16 years.
16 years. You're fluent in Japanese now. To see where Japan has evolved. It's athletes like you that I believe may help us get back into the Olympics in 2020 and beyond.
Yeah, 2020 Tokyo, we need to be on that program. It's one of the baseball and softball are some of the most popular sports in the country of Japan. And it's the two sports that the Japanese have a chance to medal in. That we need to be on the program.
And listen, I don't say this lightly. Michele Smith, Hall of Famer.
Thanks, Dad.
Love you.
Love you too.
Welcome back. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's show. Make sure that you come back and watch part 8 of softball history. Please tell all your friends about the Fastpitch TV show and this series of softball history shows. Make sure and take a look at my website, www.fastpitch.tv, to keep up with all the future episodes of the show. So until next time, this is your host, Gary Leland, saying goodbye and thanks for watching.
Do you need a softball bat? Do you want to save $30? SoftballJunk.com is offering an additional $30 discount off the price of all non-sale softball bats on their website. That's right, $30. So the next time you buy a bat, go to SoftballJunk.com and enter the code FPTV30 during checkout. And wham! You just put a cool $30 in your pocket. This show is a member of the Fastpitch TV network. See all of our shows and blogs at www.fastpitch.tv